Ahava and blessings to all of you. Welcome to this video. And we will be receiving these cards today for Purim, for the full moon, and for Palm Sunday. Such a powerful day filled with so many messages. And then we've got the lunar eclipse, which is another message for us. And so the cards have been chosen, but I'm not going to share them just yet. I want to read a little bit about this wonderful time that we are in actually right now, this portal of Purim, and also receiving Palm Sunday, how these two portals, how these two activations have come in together to give us a message. And so we have Purim under the full moon in Libra, and also we're going into this lunar eclipse. And so in this portal, this is a divine feminine portal. It is a portal of revelation, right? And so in this portal, we have access to the frequencies of unity, empowerment, revelation, and transformation. And so the great sages declared that Purim is the easiest time to release personal struggles against holiness. What does that mean? To release personal struggles against holiness. That means to release any type of struggle, any type of battle that we have with ourselves, right? Because we are considered holy. Our true essence, right? The essence of the soul, the essence of light is holy. And so it is a day to release that struggle. And how do we release that struggle? By understanding the wisdom contained in it. It's also important on this day to surrender and just be in the present moment in all of these different challenges that we're having in this moment now, or something, like I said, an inner battle that has been going on for a long time. We can ask the divine creator, Aitahy, to release it, to help us release it, and ask, what do we need to do? How can I transcend this challenge? So this is the day, right? It's a very powerful day because it is about revelation. And what happens there is that when we ask, Aitahy will allow us to see something. So we have to be very aware of all of the signs, all of the messages, all of the songs that we start to listen to, the numbers that appear, any type of message, because Aitahy will give us the transmission on how to surrender and just move away from these challenges. And so we release the struggle, right? No more struggling, because remember, when there is a battle, it is the ego and the light of the soul in a war, right? The soul wants to fly and the ego wants to continue, right? Wants to continue with the same energy. So always remember this. And it's as easy as choosing the light. And when I say easy, it may not be easy, the process, but when we choose the light, then we say, wow, why didn't I do this earlier, right? And so we can release these struggles and whether the opposing forces that we have been battling with are emotional, physical, or spiritual, on this day, we are granted the grace to have victory over all of our inner rivals and attain the highest experience of faith and of joy. And so this day of Purim is charged with power, and it is a day veiled. It's when the veils of the dimensions are manifested, and this is really important. And if you watch my last video, I told the story of Queen Esther that is celebrated on this day, and I'll put the link below. And so we can actually unveil, right? This is the day of unveiling so much to move into different dimensions and understanding that the innate truth within us will be revealed. One or two or three, something will be revealed on this day. And so on this day, we can transcend duality and we can step into the full promise and blessings of unveiling our true selves, unveiling our true selves. And so I want to read something about the divine feminine that I wrote also on social media, because it is one of the most powerful days of veneration to the divine feminine. And if you remember the last video, we can go on, we can go beyond the narrative, we can go beyond religion, even lineage, and understand the meaning of this day that has been chosen and activated in the moment of creation. To understand the power of the divine feminine on this day. And so, the divine feminine, she reveals, she purifies, and she ushers us into profound darkness. Darkness only for us to be reborn anew. She is the breath that animates life, the conduit to Aitahy, the sacred chalice of the divine spark. Similar to how the moon, embodying the feminine, basks in the sun's radiance, the seed, we too should allow ourselves to be imbued with this luminescence. Thus, even as the eclipse momentarily shrouds our light, we stand firm in the truth of our inherent void. Let this void refine our being, expanding our sacred vessel to embrace more of the divine seed, to house the boundless light of Aitahy. Through this sacred cycle of concealment and of revelation, may we become ever more attuned to the infinite, ever more spacious for the divine to dwell within. And so we know that we are, the light that we hold is the light of Aitahy, just as the light of the moon is the light of the sun. And so in all of these powerful portals where we're receiving so much light, Purim, today's Palm Sunday, we'll go into that teaching as well. All of a sudden we have an eclipse. And so the light is concealed. This is interesting. The light is concealed from the vessel, from the divine feminine. And so it's all about standing strong in the void, being capable to be in the void, right? To feel the emptiness, but also to feel the unknown, right? To feel the infinity, to feel the unknown, and being okay with it. And as that energy is just extremely Black Madonna, Ima Ila, that darkness before the light comes, we have this potential to create so much space so we can embody the divine seed. And so this has been chosen, all of the cycles are chosen in the moment of creation. There's a reason why Purim in the full moon in Libra, this beautiful Venus energy, this energy of balance, there's a reason why the eclipse is happening now, right? And so with all of the light that's being given to us, we're also eclipsed with that light. The light is concealed and then revealed again. So in those moments of concealment, what is the work that we can do? How can we connect with the breath? How can we be in prayer, right? How can we just stay in the joy and in the surrender of knowing that we are here? Like Yeshua says, Ana Aitahy, I am here. Ana Aitahy, I am here. This is Aramaic. I am here now. And with these words, he states that I am here in commitment, understanding that all that has been concealed to me will be revealed. And in this revelation, this is part of my ministry. This is part of my mission. And so are we ready to go into our ministry now? And so this has been given to us. And in Kabbalistic, biblical, Gnostic astrology, these portals are there not to control us. These portals are here so that we can access them. It's very different, right? So this is important. And so on this day, Purim and full moon, it is the holy day of Palm Sunday. This day is the mystical reenactment of the path walked by Yeshua. A day filled with palms, with the victory of the palms, but shadowed by sacrifice. And so Palm Sunday symbolizes the soul's own journey through the desert of existence, guided by the light of divine love towards the ultimate realization of its oneness with Aitahy. And so we know that we are preparing ourselves. There's a powerful Holy Week, right? We've got the resurrection, right? Easter Sunday coming up on the 31st. And remember that there's a beautiful community gathering, an open community gathering free of charge for everyone who wants to join us in our Magdalene Easter Mass. And so we can think of the palm, and a palm tree holds a very powerful symbolism, because a palm tree represents abundance and the flow of the shofar. And the shofar is the flow, the stream of abundance coming from the light of creation, coming from the Garden of Eden. But the palm tree also symbolizes the divine feminine wisdom, right? And also the olive tree, right? But the palm tree, if we can bring the palms, victory, Venus, one of the words for Venus is victory, defined in the Kabbalistic tree of life. So we've got the palm, right? And we're holding that palm, we're holding the victory, we're holding the wisdom of the divine feminine, but at the same time, there's a sacrifice. There's a sacred rite of death, right? And so this is a journey. This week is a powerful journey of the soul. And we can really obtain such amazing upgrades in our life coming up to Easter Sunday, when we celebrate Easter Sunday, because of all of these powerful portals and all of these messages. So what is so victorious about this moment? What is so victorious about the sacred rite? Well, the victory is our death, right? And of course, it symbolizes the death of the old and the renewal of the new, just like Easter and the equinox energies. But it really is a baptismal moment. It's a moment of baptism. It's a moment where we die and we are rebirthed in the womb of the soul. And so as we have all of these energies favoring us, there is this sense of void. Remember the concealment of the eclipse, which means emptiness. It's like us going into the desert just as Yeshua did. Right? Us going into the desert to face what needs to be faced. And just this morning, I was contemplating on the spiritual path and spiritual practice. And remember that our spiritual practice, right? We all use different tools and technologies to heal, to connect, and all of you know I use music and dance and yoga, and embodied spirituality, Aramaic. But remember that this embodied spirituality, even though it makes us feel good, has no expectation. It's just the present moment of connection. And that present moment of connection really brings us into the emptiness, the void. In those moments where there are no expectations, we enter the void. And so as the light is being concealed, one of the things that we can do this week, upcoming to the Easter Sunday, is release all expectations. We can visualize the things that we want to manifest. We can visualize our health, right? Our relationships, our manifestations, but then release them with having no expectations. And for me, this was when I started practicing the releasing of expectations. It was the most powerful journey in my life. Coming from a path of a lot of yoga and embodied spirituality, there was always a reason for doing something, right? There was always a reason. Do this meditation and you will have that. If you do this, you will have that. And of course, a lot of the meditations that we do at the Desert Rose Mystery School have powerful benefits, working with the chambers of light, right? The chakras and the sephirot in our tree of life template within our body. But at the same time, the devotional aspect of these practices have no expectation, right? And we must remember that when we put an expectation out there, we're limiting infinity. We're not allowing more. We're not allowing even more expansion than what we're expecting. And so in this week, let us go into the void. Let us remember, okay, what is being concealed, and allow it to be concealed, and focus on the revelation. How do we focus on the revelation? By being in that state of devotion, of practice, of unity. And within that journey leading up to Easter Sunday, we will experience a rebirth. We will energetically be aligned with what happened 2,000 years ago, and also what is happening in the celestial realm. These are activations. And so I wanted to share a Desert Rose Oracle reading with all of you that contains a message for all of these portals together, right? For Purim, for the portal of the full moon in Libra, we've got the eclipse, and also for Palm Sunday, giving us a message on how to navigate this week to prepare us, right? For the death and the resurrection of the Christ, and our death and resurrection. And it's very powerful, the cards that came out, the reading is very powerful. Because, I was expecting Yeshua, Mary Magdalene, Mother Anna, Mother Mary, something really evident and obvious to appear. But the two cards that come with a message of concealment and revelation. And so the first card is the Rakisiyat. And these are the priestesses of sound, drumming, and dance in the Al-Andalus. Very powerful. They are the ones who integrated Christianity, Judaism, and Islam as one. And then we have the Gypsy Rose, which is Sarat Tamar in her aspect of embodiment of the Gypsy Rose here on earth, embodiment of the Christ the child here on earth. And so this is a bait spread. And let me just read to you the difference. And bait means number 2. It's number 2, and it's the second letter of the Aramaic Hebrew alphabet. And so in a bait spread, the first card represents the Aleph aspect, which is the divine spark or the spiritual realm. It reflects the underlying spiritual forces, potential or divine guidance at work in this situation. And then the card 2 represents the bait aspect, which symbolizes the physical or the material manifestation of the divine essence in our life. This card will indicate the actions and behaviors and tangible elements we need to focus on. It suggests how we can ground our spiritual understanding in a practical action or a material reality. And so what are the Rakisiyat? Let's look at the seed of what will be manifested through Sarat Tamar. Again, the priestesses of sound, the priestesses of music. They used the frame drum. They whirled like the Sufis, right? They were dancers. They practiced sacred dance. And they were very, very powerful women. They had their own temples that looked like synagogues. And both men and women would go to their prayer rituals and to their sacred gatherings, and they would be healed, they would connect, and it was a very powerful form of ecstatic prayer. And so the card gives us many transmissions, and the one that I truly feel is coming through on this day for us, preparing us for this week, is the power of devotion, right? There is nothing more powerful than devotional prayer. Again, we just talked about it. There is no expectation. The only longing is to be one with the divine. That is the only longing. To feel the divine presence, to feel the light, to feel Allah, to embody Shekhinah, to feel the Holy Spirit. And so the way we do this is creatively, not just thinking about it, but using the body, allowing the body to hold the prayer, allowing the body to move the prayer. And so if we look at the Gypsy Rose card, which is Sarat Tamar, and then this is a very powerful message, because she is saying that as we bring the prayer, right, bring the unity and the longing to be one with Allah, with the divine, we are grounding this unity in the physical realm, just as she did, right? Grounding it in what the school that the Gypsy Rose belongs to or started is the way of love, right? The way of love, which is the way of Ahava, the way of love in action, love in service, and the way of rechem, the pure love of the Divine Mother, unconditional love, right? And so the ahava and the rechem are just really, really being activated through the presence of the Gypsy Rose, or Sara Tamar. And so in what ways can we creatively and devotionally be of service to the divine? How strong is our longing to be one? And this is a beautiful question to ask ourselves. And a lot of times we see the path of the mystic or the esoteric expression of our spirituality, one divided from the material world. But the thing is that any relationship that we have with divine presence, with creation, with Allah, is manifested in the physical realm, always, in so many ways. And how? Through miracles, through blessings, through mental clarity, through messages that we get, through apparitions that we receive in different ways. And they may not be visual, but they could be through a sensation, through an inspiration, right? All of the work that we do and the relationship, and I think more than a relationship, this card is even saying to be one. This oneness, this unity with the light. Why? Because that is our home, right? That is where we feel good. That is where free will, that free will that we have every day to choose the light or to choose the dark, it actually starts to go away. And how beautiful would it be to live in a state where we don't have free will because we're living in the light? Like, we know there is abundance. We know we will be healed. We know that we can fix our relationships. Imagine that, not having, because free will is having even Lilith, right? Having life or having death. That's free will. And imagine anytime we feel or a thought comes into our presence that has to do with separation or lack or fear, you see, that's death. That's already death. So imagine being in a reality where there is even no free will, just light. Powerful. And so we can actually bring this into our practice. Any type of fear, any type of judgment, any type of, just push no. I am the light. This is what I choose. I believe that only this experience will be manifested through me. Not just believe, I feel. And so this is a very, very powerful message for us to work on this week. And we're just going to do a little practice. And you can bring this into your practice this week. And we're going to say the words that Yeshua used, Ana Aitahy. Ana Aitahy. I am here now. I am present, which means I am fully embodied and I am ready to be the revelation, to reveal that which needs to be revealed to myself, right? I want to be revealed, right? Myself needs to be revealed. And so let's chant this together. into the heart. Inhale. Hold the breath. And exhale. And so you can bring these beautiful words in Aramaic into your practice this week. Ana, Aitahy. You can do mala repetitions, you can chant, you can drum, anything that feels devotional and embodied. And thank you for your presence. If you have any questions or any reflections, remember that I enjoy reading all of you, as I do believe that with community, communication is really important. So feel free to ask questions, to share. And again, thank you for your presence. We're always connected. Ahava.